curse thee into the depths of the bottomless pit, there to remain until the day of wrath.
Release me.
What were you expecting, my love? The devil?
Ooh, boy, has Nazi-sploitation made a comeback? Ooh, maybe. So I'm in the video store, just browsing through looking for flicks to talk about, and I see on the wall, in the new releases, this movie called The Devil's Rock. And it's advertised like a 70s Nazi-sploitation flick with a half-naked girl on it wearing part of an SS outfit. The other part is just cleavage. And there's blood all over her. There's, of course, you know, the lettering to make it look like one of those movies. And I'm sitting there like, well, okay, I'll give this a shot. The Nazi-sploitation movies are just the sleaziest subgenre of exploitation. It really is. So a lot of them I watch out of curiosity just to see, like, how sleazy could it get? Like, is it gonna be more or less sleazier than the Gestapo's last orgy? You know, and some of them are just downright bizarre. You've got stuff like horrifying experiments of the SS last days with pubic hair eating beasts thrown in it and everything. And then you got SS Girls, which is a great movie. If you haven't seen it, it's one of Bruno Mattei's best. You got, like, Japanese Nazis with nunchucks and all that. You got Gabriel Carrara's character dressed like a Nazi pope, and it's just, you can find some bizarre stuff in these movies. So I rent it, watch it, and you know what? This movie's honestly really, really good. It's not really the kind of Nazi-sploitation that it's advertised as being. Like, it doesn't have the mood of something like Women's Camp 119 or, you know, Horrifying Experiments and stuff like that. It certainly has elements of that, but it's a very grand-looking movie. It's very well made. The man who directed this movie, Paul Campion, I think is his name, he's only directed like a couple other things, but he's done visual work on like Hugo and stuff like that. So he co-wrote and directed this movie, and it is a fine-looking movie. It's very well made. It's not as when the movie starts out, I'm like, this isn't quite as grungy looking as I thought it would be, you know, and comparing it to those other movies of the past. So really, when you watch it, it certainly has a lot of camp elements to it, but it's not quite the exploitation film that a lot of its promotional material, namely the posters and box covers, as great as they are letting on. The movie is... How do I put this? Because this is a phrase I've never said in my life. It's like if you crossed a Nazi-sploitation movie with Solaris. That's what it is. And I've never seen that before. And this movie does it pretty well. Does that combination pretty well, I gotta say. The plot of the movie is that it starts out... This is a New Zealand flick. It starts out with a couple of soldiers, a couple of New Zealanders. They arrive on a beach during World War II, and this is already a really good scene. These two actors have great dialogue together. They're crawling along the beach, and he's sticking a knife into the sand, looking for mines, and the one dude is talking about like his girlfriend and stuff like that, and like his date with her and everything. Just this realistic conversation that they're having while crawling around, making sure they're not going to step on a mine. And then one guy, he does, but he gets saved by the other guy, and the guy says, "When you go on that date, and you get married and have kids, you name your firstborn after me." You know, there's some really good moments there, and then they happen upon this like kind of castle, sort of, this big steep building, which right away, if you're like in a Nazi exploitation movie and you happen upon a castle or something, seriously don't go inside of it. Really bad things are going to happen. Like, it could be some shenanigans, yes, but you're going to end up getting killed. Like, you know, it could be something really, really, really bad, like SS Experiment Love Camp. Or, you know, it could be like SS Girls, in which case you would get laid, but you're going to die at the end. So either way, it's going to be bad if you happen upon a Nazi castle. It's not going to be good. So they go in through the underground tunnel of this thing, and it's really suspenseful. It honestly is. These two soldiers in the darkness of this tunnel, and there's these blood red lights shining throughout it with not very much sound at all. This again is an incredibly well-made movie. The cinematography here, the acting, the mood, the suspense, the lighting, this is incredibly well done. To the point where I'm watching this like, this honestly should have been released theatrically. Like, seeing this like in a theater, like this sequence, like, would be very intense. A lot more suspenseful than a lot of the recent horror movies I've seen. And again, genuinely well acted. And like the mystery when they're going through here, they keep finding dead bodies. They've got their guns drawn and they're finding dead Nazis. Not the drink that got me sick one year. They're finding a bunch of corpses of Nazis laying around, like just their guts are flung everywhere. Some are just cut open. Some are shot. Like, one guy has like half of his rifle in a really good effect, has half of his rifle jammed down his throat. It looks like a Cannibal Holocaust kind of thing, except instead of a pole, it's a fucking rifle. So you're watching this like, this is going somewhere interesting. I like where this is going. And then one of the characters finds a book on the occult, about like certain things about demonology and stuff like that, and right away one of the guys gets killed, and the other one is captured by the only remaining Nazi that's left in here. And so you have the main guy left, and then you have the Nazi, and the rest of the movie is kind of a two-man show between the both of them. And these two actors do it really, really well. There's a lot of great dialogue between the two where they're trying to get down each other's throats. They're trying to fuck with each other, and like the Nazi's trying to get information about the other soldier, and so to get information out of him, he's threatening to burn a picture of the guy's like dead wife, because it's like the only personal thing he has on him is just this picture of his wife. And throughout all of this, you keep hearing these screams by this woman in another room, and then the Nazi gets up and has to deal with that, and then comes back, and you're like, what the fuck is going on here? So eventually the soldier gets away, and what he finds is this woman chained up, but when she turns around, it's his dead wife. And I'm like, this is going in some like a Nazi exploitation crossed with like Twilight Zone crossed with like, again, like Solaris, because it's not his actual wife. And she's there like fucking with him, and he's falling for it like, holy crap, why is my fucking wife here? But like part of him knows that's not really her. And then how it turns out is that the Third Reich, wanting to get into the